All right. So, hey, welcome back, everybody. This is a Falling Forward podcast, episode nine. Boy, not a man. I'm Arnell. Got my brother Phil with me.
Uh,
All right. So, hey, this week we're going to talk about the topic of men acting like boys instead of who they truly are supposed to be in their masculine essence. So, my question, and it's not one to be answered by anybody in particular, but just something to ponder on. Why do so many women today think that more humans from the opposite sex act more like boys versus men that we actually probably see ourselves as? So why is there such a struggle, a power struggle nowadays, where a lot of women are like, these guys are acting like boys, don't nobody want to man up, they ain't taking care of their responsibility. So this week we're gonna talk about being a boy versus a man. So Phil, again, this week, man, it really conjured up some old thoughts, some old instances and situations that I went through, man. I had to do some digging because, as we both are, talked about many times, we're on our personal development journey. And through your journey, you start transitioning and realizing things you did in the past maybe weren't conducive to us being in our best version of ourselves and our masculine energy. So my question to you, man, my first question is, at what point in a male's life would you say that most boys transition into men? Like, is it a particular time frame? Is it a particular act? When do you see, or when did you notice that you transferred from a boy to a man space? You transition from making boy type decisions to becoming a man.
oh man, that's good. So for me personally, I would say like it just kind of goes with accountability. When I started being accountable and being a person of my word and start standing on those things and not wavering from it. So I know that like I was getting caught up in society and doing a lot of things that everybody was doing in society. When I kind of started pulling myself away from the crowds of everybody doing a thing and me trying to just create my own path and just worry about Philip and what I'm trying to accomplish and stuff, I started seeing myself maturing and start growing more of a man because like as a man, and I think I probably hit on this a little bit later, that a man, they know what they want and they go for it. And boys don't really have it figured out and they waver. So in my younger years, I didn't quite have it figured out. I didn't really know what I was wanting to do. So I was just doing a whole lot of crazy stuff. So me maturing and planning, I think it kind of well, I think where all that came from is my daughter, really, to tell you the truth. I know that she was getting older and I didn't want her to see me in that light. I wanted her to see a father and wanted her to see a man because I know that's going to impact her life. So I know I had to kind of clean up my life and stuff. So
Mm.
I would say for me, that kind of happened more mid 20s. I started to make those changes.
Man. Yeah, that's great, bro. That's a great answer, man. So I heard you say a couple things, man. You got some clarity. You got some clarity in what you wanted, man, and you had some accomplishments that you wanted, man. You wanted your daughter, man, your family. A lot of times family will do that for us. Going from young men or young boys to men, man. So that's a great answer because I think I'm gonna touch on family a little bit as well, man. So I like
Right,
that
right.
response.
Good, appreciate it, man. So, my first question, you kind of like what you already hit on in the beginning, about real man. So, I'll say like, most women say they want a real man. Do you think some women in societies have formed their own definition of what a real man is? You kind of answer that and kind of elaborate on it a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I think women, men, and all the like have been getting indoctrinated of what a man should be from our parents' generation. So I think it's cyclical. So I think maybe in our parents' generation, a real man was somebody who provided for the family, somebody that went out there and worked 60 hours a week. May not have ever seen them, and no matter what they did on the side, as long as they was provided for the family, they was still a real man. So I think like the ideology of a real man is generational, depending on where you're at. But I think we're in a dangerous spot now where it's more materialistic, it's more, topical. So, because you got the advent of social media. So if your life don't look like that, then you ain't a real man. If you ain't making more than I'm making, you ain't a real man. And I think that it's just dangerous to set those sort of superficial expectations, because you could be missing out on your soulmate. If you don't have your own depiction of what a real man is to you, and somebody else is on social media, you could be missing out on a good brother. And likewise, we could be missing out on, a good sister. So
Right, right. That's good, man. And viewers, just know we talking about a boy, not a man, but this go the other way as well. Man, you hit on a lot of good stuff that I was thinking as well. So what I heard you say is just it's really developed by the culture and the time frame that you're living in. So we can't take that into modern day and be like, okay, this what a man is, because like you said, a man then and a man now, depending on who's talking about it, can be completely different and stuff. But I think the basics should still be the same. So I'm gonna kind of hit it from a different angle. Like for me, what I say, like what most women feel that a real man is are living in their fantasy and not reality. The difference between what is desired and accepted is the real issue. And a lot of things that I feel like, well, a few things I feel like, has a great impact. Like some of the things you said was absent good male figures in their lives. Uh, what are you weighing what a real man is up against? Did you have one in your life that you can look up to? And also the influence of the culture. We got social media and all these videos and music and stuff. So what are you comparing it to? That has a big influence on it. So and also, man, we always have heard about these checklists. You got a checklist of what a man must have or do, which causes women to overlook his heart. They only look top surface, which causes them to miss out. Kind of like what you said. And a woman can't strip a man from what he is because he's staying on what he believes.
Man, you said a lot of good things, man. I think the biggest thing I heard was what's your baseline? What are you measuring? What are you measuring your ideology of a man to be? Did your mom used to beat on your dad? Was he always out? Or was it somebody positive in your life, man? So, man, that's real good, because that's gonna set the standard from just an initial standpoint, man. And dang, yeah, that's good right there, bro. That's good. Okay. So let me ask you, I guess, a little more personal question. How has reacting like a boy stopped you from taking advantage in certain parts of your personal life? Maybe a relationship, business, fitness, and or spirituality. It doesn't have to be anything recent, or it could be, but just in life, man, just in your experience, how has making decisions that maybe a boy would make just prevented you from going to the next level, man, or expanding into the best version of Phil?
Okay, so I hit on a few of those. I start off a relationship, and I kind of take a step back and kind of think about these things. Not that I want anything to change, but I was just wondering what was going on in my life. So for a relationship, I've came across, some good women in my life, but I wasn't ready to settle down or commit because I knew that I had to turn away from what I consider as fun. And I didn't want to do that. I want to just do what I want to do. and
Mm.
that wasn't, being responsible. So I miss out on some great women that I could have possibly built a great future with. Spiritually, going back to the fun thing, I would say, wasn't really praying like I should have or going to church, and I didn't develop that relationship that I should have with God as a man because I was out there in the world, in the flesh, doing boy things. So a lot of the boy things that we do is a distraction from us being a man.
Mm. That's a great answer, man. That's a great answer. I got a similar personal experience with the having fun stuff, man. But for me, I think just from a spiritual standpoint, man, when you need that confirmation from the outside and not looking to God and the inside, man, that's an act of a boy. And then when you affirm and you go to the most high, man, you're in your manly presence, your essence, man. And I think um like once you know that and once you've experienced certain things, man, there's a certain level of discipline that men have that boys don't. Like boys are impulsive. And this is not to beat anybody down if you're in that phase, because we all have transition periods, but you just got to recognize what it is and understand if you're acting off impulse, off of emotion, and lack of discipline, then you're making decisions like a boy. So
Right, right. No, big facts. Big on the discipline, and like I said, that just goes back to accountability. Like you don't want to be accountable because you don't have no discipline. And you live in that boy's lifestyle. Uh so the next one, the standard of a man. When men have a standard they stand on, why do you think that women feel like men are acting funny or acting like they're too good?
it's a great question, man. I think that maybe those women don't have standards. Maybe they don't see a vision and they lack clarity in their own lives, because once you have a certain level of clarity and you hook up with somebody else with a vision, you understand certain things are unwavering, and you understand the certain baselines and certain things that that man's got to do and that man won't do when they're in their masculine essence. And it just comes back to clarity, man, and having a vision of who you want to be and what you want out of life. And I think maybe some women look at that as a negative because they can't control that man. So when you know who you are, what you want, and you got your standards, you're not going to be easily moved by, you know, I'm trying to keep this PG, you know what I'm saying, about it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be
Right.
easily moved by certain things. You ain't gonna be controlled by certain things because you know that your goals, man, things you want in life, people you want to help in life, man, require a certain level of discipline, certain level of execution, and just a certain type of person to get it done. So I think the women that are real women, they respect that and they add to that. But those that complain, I think they just lack clarity in their lives, man, and maybe they just need to have a conversation with that man to see why he's like that, and they may be able to learn something from him.
Good, good. Uh, hey, what you said is that control thing. And, that's real big because if you want something from a person, they already stern in what they believe in, they're not going to waver from it. And you trying to control them and get them to do the things that you desire. So that was good right there, bro.
Mm.
So, just kind of expand on that. I just say like I kind of already said, but men know what they want and they go for it. Boys have an ideal, so they are flexible to conform to what is presented to them. So
Ooh,
they're not stern on the things that they believe.
that's good.
It's as simple as the level of maturity and immaturity. The standard of a man will weed out women who aren't compatible. So if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything.
Mm, that's good. You said that it sounds like you saying the boys are easily influenced when you don't have a standard. Like you're
Right.
easily malleable and easily just move, left or right when you don't have that standard. That's good, man.
Right. You become a yes man.
Right. Right. All right, man. Last question. So, what are one or two habits that you've implemented over the years, man, to transition into a more focused version of yourself? So, you could attract the resources, man, and resources being, relationships, money, opportunities, and things of that nature. So you could have the desired outcomes that you wanted in your life, man.
So two strong factors for me is uh, maintaining my relationship with God, because I
Mm,
know that it help keep me accountable from making the bad decisions versus the right decisions stuff. So I can be more aligned with, uh, God instead of the flesh. The second thing is being a man of my word. If I say something out of my mouth, I need to see it through.
mm, that's good. And keep the promises you make to yourself and other people, man. Like you said, same here. Just getting back in alignment with the Most High, man, first and foremost, and then being introspective, um, and being just having the ability to self-assess and get around people that love and respect you, that are going to give you hard feedback. So
Right.
I think that's important, man. You got to be able to self-assess and say, you know what, I'm messing up, and be okay
Mm.
with that.
Mm. Hey, that last part, that's the part, Riddell. Be okay with your mistakes.
Mm,
Don't get in a pit, but you gotta move forward. Hence falling forward, right?
right.
So last question, man. So why do you think women accept what they see as a boy in a male, which is actually a red flag, then they try to develop him into a man that they want?
It goes back to control, man. You go look at putty. When you got Play-Doh. If you see a piece of Play-Doh and you see a shape that you want it molded into, sometimes you think you can go grab that Play-Doh and mold it into a castle or a shell or a turtle, whatever it is, because it's so soft and it doesn't have any no firm form. You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying? So so when they see cats like that, they can control them with certain things. You get them with the grown man gifts, as my boy ET and CJ and them say. You know what I'm saying? So you can control them like that. Or they see a project, man. Maybe they've had too many strong brothers in their life, and they like, you know what, I'm willing to lower my standard and accept certain things, but I'm gonna make him the man I want him to be. And we
mm,
both know, I'll end on this. We both know the only way to change somebody else is to change yourself.
right. Hey man, you said a lot of good stuff, man. I think a good strong woman will view a man as being soft when he waver like that. Uh, so I'll just say, I mean, well, just like you said, man, I feel like sometimes men are viewed as projects. Like, women feel like if she do a certain thing for him or to him, he would change for her. But often, that don't work as planned. So when a man does, he loses his identity and he won't be happy within himself, or he won't be able to really make her happy. It's an uphill battle. Like you said, or we discussed earlier, men are protectors and provider. Boys, they are controllers and they are possessive.
Mm, that's good. Protectors and providers. I like that, man. Well, shoot, let's I'm gonna share a couple I'll share a personal moment real quick, man. About me acting like a boy and kind of bring things full circle, man. So I remember I was back in the military. You know how it was, bro. You
Mm,
young, you out there having fun at every club. But I remember when with my girl, man, we had our first son. I didn't know what to do. I was still out there trying to wild out. And, like you said, man, they want to commit to a relationship because the fear of missing out, appeared to be on the other side of the grass. So, I was sitting there talking to an elder because I was going through some stuff. So my partner hooked me up with one of my elders, man, and I had never talked to this dude before. And you could clearly tell he had already transitioned into his masculine energy. He was probably in his 40s. I was still in my 20s, and so him being a better version of himself kind of made me listen to what he was saying. But he was basically like, hey, bro, I don't know you, but just from the stuff you telling me, if you don't settle down and go from a boy to a man, somebody gonna be raising your kid, and somebody gonna be keeping your sheets warm. And I was like, what? Man, I got pissed off, bro. I was mad as hell. I was like, who the hell is this dude? You know what I'm saying? And after I left, it sunk in. It said, I mean, it just made me think like, boy, everything you doing is out of scarcity, it's out of fear. And those are attributes of a boy. When when you're a man, you know exactly what it is you want. Back to that clarity word, man. So that kind of messed me up, but it's been an ongoing process, man. So I don't want anybody here to think that this process happens overnight, So, man, just to kind of wrap things up, I'm gonna let you give 3 takeaways, man, from the conversation, and just some actionable stuff that folks that's listening can do, man. And then I'll give my 3, bro.
All right. So I just want the viewers to know what you like may not be what you need. Don't try to change a person because they will do so if you're worth it. And just to kind of speak on maturity again, maturity is being financially stable and not irresponsible, mentally and emotionally mature to make sound decisions, and knowing when to speak and when to listen. So before you go, Arnell, I just want to kind of just highlight, K. Michelle had this song called Can't Raise a Man. She's right. You can't raise a grown person. She said he got older, but he never grew. Wow. Some people don't mature mentally with their age.
Oh, man. That's good. That's rich right there, bro.
Yeah.
You can, all right, man. I like that. And I like what you like may not be what you want, man. Our parents used to tell us that what look good to you ain't always good for you. That's good, man. I like that comparison with K. Michelle. So, man, for me, key takeaways, man, were become active and intentional in your personal development journey. So be intentional with the books you're reading, the things you're listening to, the foods you're eating, man, because that all plays a part in the decisions that you're making. Second thing, you use this word a few times throughout today's podcast. Be accountable for all your actions, man. Be willing to receive truthful feedback from the people you love and respect, man. Don't take constructive criticism from people that don't construct, because you don't know if it's coming from a good place. So make sure you can take feedback, but make sure it's from people who actually have your genuine best interest at hand. Last thing is search for your purpose in life, man. If you can't initially find it, hook up with somebody that's already aligned in their purpose so you can see what that looks like. And really, here's the overarching thing, man. My last takeaway is to understand that falling forward is a necessary component to finishing first in any journey that you endeavor, man. So it's going to require you to take some risk. Life is going to require you to take risk, and you got to know that you're going to offer the world a slice of your vulnerability. And if you're too scared to do that, nothing's going to work for you, man. So you got to be willing to be vulnerable. You got to be willing to put yourself out there. I forget who said it, said, hey, if you don't want to ever get any criticism or anything from anybody, sit there and don't do nothing in life. So any closing words, man, that you have, Phil, anything you want to leave our guys with and our girls with, man?
I just say, like we've said, just be your true self. A lot of people have gotten older, but mentally they're not quite there. And if you notice that, move around. Don't try to reel nobody in and feel like you can kind of, change them and stuff, because don't waste your time or waste theirs, because if you get connected with them, you're missing out on your blessing, you're stopping their blessing.
Powerful. And here's the last thing I'll say. Hey, life don't have a remote to it. You got to get up and change it. You got to get up and change your own life. There ain't no remote. And I didn't make that up. I seen that on I was passing by a commercial storage unit, man. They had that message up there. They said there's no remote to life. You got to get up and change it. You got to get up and transition from boy to man. So yeah, man, we appreciate you guys for rocking with us. This is episode 9. my brother Phil. I'm Arnell. We'll catch y'all next week. Peace.